Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. An armed suspect in custody today and in serious medical condition after police say he led them on a wild foot chase. The Chemung County Sheriff's Office says they were called to the Econo Lodge early Wednesday morning to investigate a report of an assault. When they got there, they spoke with a woman with a head laceration, and she said it was caused by her boyfriend, 47-year-old Michael Pettix. Pettix had taken off. He then led deputies on a chase through highway lanes, causing several accidents. When Pettix was approached by authorities, they say he began using his knife on himself on his neck and throat area. Authorities are asking anyone who was traveling on I-86 or near the Southern Tier Shopping Plaza yesterday to contact them with any information on this case. The Elmira Police Department is offering $20,000 in bonuses for lateral transfer officers. According to the department, the bonuses offered are part of an effort to mitigate historically high staffing shortages. Officers who are offered employment will receive a $10,000 signing bonus at the time of swearing in and $5,000 bonuses on the officer's first and second year anniversary dates. Chemung County will hold 2 events for residents that are 60 and up. The Department of Aging and Long-Term Care will hold a drive-in picnic and bingo games. The events will take place at the Chemung County Fairgrounds on September 23rd. The picnic will be from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and bingo goes from 1 to 2:30. Reservations for the events are required. NASCAR will be back at Watkins Glen International in 2023. Go Bowling at the Glen will continue to serve as the penultimate race in the NASCAR regular season. This year marked the 8th consecutive grandstand sellout and 2nd consecutive camping sellout at the Glen. The race will return August 20th, 2023. A tentative deal has been reached to avoid a railroad worker strike. Jeff Flock is in Philadelphia with the latest.
I am at the Packer Avenue Marine Terminal here in Philadelphia. This is where shipping containers come in off the Delaware River and go on to either truck or rail. Lately, the last few days, more on truck than rail because of the fear of the strike. But now, with the deal done, presumably things get back to normal if it is ratified. President Biden today celebrating after a marathon 20-hour negotiating session produced an agreement early this morning.
Together we reached an agreement, you reached an agreement that will keep our critical rail system working and avoid disruptions of our economy. This agreement can avert the significant damage that any shutdown would have brought. Our nation's rail system is the backbone of our supply chain. Every good that you need seems to end up on a rail.
As to what is in the deal, this is what we know so far based on information from the union. 24% in terms of a pay increase, modification of the attendance policies that were really at the crux of this potential strike, workers feeling that they've been worked too hard, no hikes in co-pays or deductibles for health care, and $1,000 annual bonuses over the course of the contract, so a total of $5,000. The devil, though, in the details of the new policies on attendance. The workers are getting 1 extra paid sick leave day. Beyond that, the details of it haven't been spelled out, and until those are to the rank and file, and until they give their ascension to it, the deal is not fully done. But for now, no strike tomorrow. Outside the Packer Avenue Marine Terminal in Philadelphia, I'm Jeff Flock with the Fox Business Network.
Starting today, the Steuben County Public Health Department will provide free immunizations. From 8:30 to 4:30 on weekdays, you can come in and receive protection from multiple diseases. The routine immunizations are against polio, meningitis, and HPV. The department will also provide immunizations for anything that students need to return to school. For more information or to schedule an appointment, contact the health department at the number on your screen. Guthrie is conducting a clinical trial for Lyme disease vaccines, and volunteers are needed. Healthy children between 5 and 17, as well as adults 18 and over, are eligible to participate. Guthrie is looking for individuals who frequent the outdoors and wooded areas to participate. For more information, you can contact Guthrie. It's time for Big Fox's Pet of the Week. This week we're focusing on fostering with Paws and Purrs and Jasper the dog.
This Pet of the Week, we're putting a little bit of a spin on it. This week we're talking about fostering with Todd Daly and his foster fail, Jasper. Now, a foster fail is when a foster animal fits in so well with their new foster family, the foster family just ends up adopting them.
Oh, when I knew it was a foster fail, it was probably the first night. I mean, he's quickly attached and he loves to snuggle. And when I say snuggle, kind of the way you would snuggle a teddy bear. I mean, he just gets all up in there and wants all the loving he can get.
This isn't the end of fostering for this family.
So, yeah, he's a foster fail, but the likelihood is we'll probably still continue. Once his health is squared away, we will probably still continue to bring in, one foster at a time with him.
Jasper has a rare heart condition that costs up to $8,000 to repair. Paws and Purrs is taking care of it all. Paws and Purrs partners with their foster parents to take care of almost everything, including food, dishes, toys, and medical bills.
They give you absolutely everything you need. So you literally just get to bring this pet into your home and just concentrate on giving it attention.
To apply to be a foster parent with Paws and Purrs, visit their website at pawsandpurrs.org. Who knows, you may even have a foster fail like Jasper and Todd did and help a pet find their forever home. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Corning.
Your complete forecast is next. Plus, the latest from England as funeral plans unfold for Queen Elizabeth II. Stay with us.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
As we were under that bright blue sky today, we saw temperatures hold into those mid-60s, and through the overnight, we're going to see under the calm and clear skies, temperatures are going to bottom out. But do note that we have a slight switch in those winds. We have more of that southwesterly wind by tomorrow morning. That will mean that we are going to start to talk about some warming from the southwest. However, the wind is extremely calm at that time frame, so it is going to allow for some areas of that patchy fog to develop again, and we're going to battle that the next few mornings. We'll see across the area, everybody approaches those lower 40s, anywhere from about 5 to 10 degrees below that average, as we should be dropping into those lower 50s this time of the year. So make sure to grab yourself that warm coffee. But what we'll trend to see again is mainly for the next few mornings, you'll have that threat for some of that patchy fog. So especially for Friday morning, still have kids at the bus stop, morning commute, give yourself a few extra minutes out on those roadways. But a notable warming trend will be ahead, as you may need the layers in the morning with those lows into the 40s. We see that we have that notable warm up that could even bring our high temperatures back towards those 80s for tomorrow. So it's a big, quick switch around. That southwesterly wind can do a lot of work, especially this time of the year, as we still have some of those warmer surfaces and still a good amount of that daylight. And we'll see mostly sunny skies all the way through our weekend. But what we'll see start to change is that there could be another low pressure system on approach that will turn us back to some of that rainy and stormy weather as early as Sunday evening into our Monday forecast. Now, rolling into Friday, it should be a gorgeous day again. A little cooler to start the day. Grab that light sweater, but you'll be able to shed that layer as you head into the afternoon, as we'll see a little bit of afternoon cloud cover with that heating. But temperature wise, we should be able to climb well within those 70s. So we're talking about high temperatures at 78 degrees into Elmira, 74 into Wayland, 74 into Westfield. So looking at above that average is about 75 degrees. As mentioned yesterday, we were talking about those averages. Those day by day continue to fall and will be even into those 60s as early as October. So take advantage of this bright sunshine that is setting up for the weekend. Saturday morning, we see that we also have the improvement of not having those brittle cold temperatures. We're back up seeing that our average low 49 degrees. It is going to be a little closer to that actual of about 51 to 50 degrees in Elmira and Corning Saturday morning to bring the temperatures back up into those 80s. 80s, yes, are back on the board already. Bath has a chance to see 82 degrees, Westfield around 79, Elmira and Corning around 82 degrees. We'll keep the sunshine into that Sunday forecast, but note that a chance of storms is on there. That will be late on Sunday into Monday, so if you have daytime plans, still looking at a nice and warm one with a high of 84 degrees. Won't really see a frontal system passage that will be too impactful, but we will see enough that we're going to have some moisture that's going to linger, some showers and thunderstorms throughout our Monday and Tuesday before there might be a bigger switch up that we'll have to keep a close eye on as we head into latter parts of next week.
The lines to say farewell to Queen Elizabeth II are extensive, but the hours-long wait isn't keeping people away as thousands pour into Westminster Hall to bid Her Majesty one last goodbye. Lauren Blanchard has the latest from London as emotions run high.
The line continues to move for the first full day. Queen Elizabeth II lies in state as preparations for her state funeral continue.
Overnight outside Westminster Hall, bagpipes and drums filled the London air as soldiers rehearsing Monday's funeral procession marched from where the Queen lies in state to Westminster Abbey. Inside the hall, the Queen's coffin will be available for the public to view for 24 hours a day until Monday morning. Security around London remains tight as thousands of mourners line up to pay their respects.
Everyone had their heads bowed down.
The sheer volume of visitors pushing the city's subway system to its limits and keeping traffic on the roads sluggish. The line to get into Westminster Hall stretching for more than 2 miles, but a wait time exceeding 8 hours isn't phasing those lining up.
Quite overpowering, actually, and to think that that's the last time.
Meanwhile, King Charles III and his wife Camilla, Queen Consort, will head to Wales on Friday, completing their tour of all 4 UK nations. Royal experts say pressure is on for the new king to keep the United Kingdom united.
This responsibility is going to weigh heavy on him, not to let his mother down, not to screw things up, to respect and build on what she's done.
Meanwhile, currencies, stamps and military uniforms with the late Queen's image will eventually be phased out, replaced with King Charles III. In London, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
TikTok will not commit to stop sending U.S. user data to China. TikTok's chief operating officer testified before the Senate on Wednesday regarding the platform's corporate structure. But the executive constantly avoided telling lawmakers that the company would stop sharing U.S. users' data with China. TikTok has previously stated that Chinese employees don't have access to American users' information. TikTok says it transferred its U.S. user data to several cloud servers supervised by Oracle, and that it will ultimately delete it from its servers in Singapore and Virginia. Well, university professor goes viral for comforting his student's baby during class. Zach Prelutsky has more on this story from Lander University in South Carolina.
Patera Richburg brought an unexpected guest to her Math 201 class at Lander University. Her 2-month-old daughter, Aria.
Multiplication! Great guess!
I was really nervous, like everybody's gonna be like, why do you have a baby with her?
But her classmates and professor, Dr. Samuel Reed, were excited for Aria to join them for the hour and 15-minute class. Aria was fed and then fell asleep.
While Richburg went to the bathroom, Aria woke up and started crying. That's when Dr. Reed stepped in, knowing exactly what to do.
I thought, well, I could either just pick her up and see if I could comfort her, or I could let her keep crying and try to teach over top of a crying baby.
So Dr. Reed comforted the 2-month-old while teaching the day's lesson.
Some of my students were like, oh my goodness, he just picked up this baby. And I quickly reassured them, I'm a dad, I know what I'm doing, everything's gonna be okay.
Richburg took these photos and shared them on social media.
From the time I told my advisors that I was pregnant and I was scared, I was gonna leave Lander, move back to Charleston, and just go to Charleston Southern and be 2 years behind. I was like, I have to leave because I didn't know what I was gonna do, but they helped me every step of the way.
On top of studying elementary education, Richburg is raising her newborn daughter, commutes an hour one way to get to class, and drives DoorDash some nights to earn extra money.
It's hard, but I got it.
As with many other professors, Dr. Reed wants to help Richburg achieve her goals any way he can.
She is just such a bright and capable student. I really couldn't be more proud. We're dedicated to serving our students.
In Greenwood, Zach Perlutsky for Fox Carolina News.
Still ahead, data from the World Health Organization shows COVID-19 deaths are at their lowest point since March of 2020, citing how the world is in a better position to end the pandemic. Health officials say new data shows the world is moving in a positive direction towards ending the COVID-19 pandemic, but now is not the time to lose steam in the fight against the virus. Ted Linder has the latest on that and much more.
We're not there yet, but the end is in sight.
More than 2.5 years after the World Health Organization first declared COVID-19 a pandemic, the agency now says we're in the home stretch when it comes to defeating the virus.
We are in a winning position.
Dramatic declines in global COVID-19 death rates and case counts are fueling the optimism, with the WHO clocking a roughly 22% decrease in deaths and a 28% drop in new positive cases.
Last week, the number of weekly reported deaths from COVID-19 was the lowest since March 2020. We have never been in a better position to end the pandemic.
And here in the U.S., the CDC also reporting encouraging results, citing new coronavirus cases across the country have fallen by roughly half over the last 2 months.
The most important is that countries have a strong surveillance system in place so they are able to quickly detect if there would be a new variant.
But as we prepare to head into the fall, health officials continue advising Americans to consider getting an updated COVID-19 booster shot, with ones from Pfizer and Moderna reformulated to better target the extremely contagious Omicron variant. This comes as medical experts say it's also time to expand on the accessibility and usage of telemedicine and other platforms for online healthcare.
We know the power of digital health to transform the healthcare landscape. But now, after the COVID-19, digital is not optional anymore, it's obligatory.
Ted Linder, Fox News.
A surprising result in a University of Georgia study links vaping to how much exercise teens do. The study was from data collected in a survey of more than 362,000 students. It found that students who work out 4 to 5 times a week are 23% more likely to use vaping cigarettes than their peers who are not active. Researchers say those teens who vape may believe it's a better alternative to regular cigarettes, but they say data shows additives in vape products were linked to lung injury. California launches a new abortion services website. It aims to provide information for women in the state and across the country in need of reproductive care. LaMonica Peters has this story.
It includes information on your right to an abortion and information if you're traveling to California from another state that has restricted your reproductive care. The site does not track you or your personal information. Abortion remains legal and protected in California. We have your back.
The website, abortion.ca.gov, also includes information about service providers, health insurance, and support groups. Planned Parenthood of Northern California says it was created by the collaboration of abortion rights advocates and other partners.
This website came as a result of that conversation, and here we are a year later seeing it and having it come to fruition. So it is an absolute critical next step in California being a reproductive freedom state.
As California continues to fortify abortion rights, on Tuesday, U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina introduced a bill that would ban abortion access nationally after the first trimester, except in rare cases.
Very recently, Lindsey Graham was on board with this, saying how great it would be that people in states could make choices for themselves. Maybe people in Alabama have different views than people in California about what to do. Now he's turning around and doing a complete 180 and saying we actually want a national ban on abortions after 15 weeks.
Because Congress is currently held by Democrats, Graham's bill has very little chance of being passed. Still, Gonzalez says it sends a message about where the anti-abortion movement is headed.
Here we are, the first U.S. senator who's introduced legislation. And so it is a moment for us to take pause and understand what direction that we want this country to go towards, whether we're going to protect rights or we're going to now summarily accept that people will have less freedom.
In November, Californians will also decide if they want to amend the state constitution to guarantee abortion rights. LaMonica Peters, KTVU, Fox 2 News. Stay with us. More news after the break. And we want to leave you with a smile tonight. A Pennsylvania woman turns 96 years young and celebrates it at her favorite place, the gym. Cecilia Jaworski is dancing her way into her 96th year. The Westchester resident says she gets energized by visiting her local gym, partly due to the strong connections she's made while working out over there. Well, happy birthday to you. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.